That's right, .NET MAUI Preview 14 is here, getting ever so closer to release candidate and ever so close to that GA release in Q2 of this year, 2022. I'm real excited because this release is packed full of awesome desktop optimizations, including the brand new MenuBar and getting ever so closer to integrating shell as the default option because my pull request got accepted. So just wait for the next release to come out. But I'm going to break down everything you need to know about Preview 14 so you can get started today because it's looking ever so sweet. So tune in. Hey everyone, I'm James and I'm back with another .NET MAUI Preview 14 video, this time breaking down all those goodies inside this release. If you've been enjoying these videos along the way, jam that like button below. And of course, if it's your first time here, I'm James. I make videos all about .NET development. I specialize in mobile and desktop development with xamarin.forms and now .NET MAUI. And I've been breaking down all of the releases and doing tutorials along the way. Whole bunch of good stuff here. If you want even more goodies, check out my buddy Gerald's channel. I'll put it up over there, down there, whatever it is. Gerald on the .NET MAUI team has all sorts of crazy goodies. He's doing all sorts of crazy stuff. So go check that out. Because if I don't have a video here, he's probably got one over there, which is super awesome. All right, .NET MAUI Preview 14. Let's get into it. I'm actually going to go straight into coding. That's right. I'm here. I have a brand new file, new application up and running. The only thing I did is I wrapped the app in a navigation page over here. And soon you won't have to do this because they're going to do it for you, which is great. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come in. I have a Windows application here. And you know how like you have these files and edits and views and gives and all this other stuff? Wouldn't it be great if you could have that too? Well, now you can. Check this out. I'm going to come in. I'm going to say content page dot menu bar items. Okay. Now menu bar items have, you guessed it, menu bar items in it. So let's do file over here. There we go. And now we get file right over here. Now we got to give it a menu item. Okay, so we're going to say menu flyout item, and I'll say text, and let's say file 1 or something. I don't know. And now we have file 1 right there. Check that out. And now I can just add a bunch of them in there. And now I got file 1. Check that out. Amazing. Now check this out. If I come in and I add another menu bar item and I say edit, for example, I get an edit with all of them over there, which is really, really cool. Now you're probably saying, well, James, what if I want to, bind those things to a command or something like that? Well, for any of these menu items, you have a command and command parameters and click handlers and all those things in there too. So you have all that stuff in there, which is really nice. Now, I want to also say, what if you wanted to create things with little arrows, right? Sub menu items. Well, you can actually do that too, which is really, really cool. So let's go ahead and modify this edit here. And let's do something here, which is taking that first file here. And I'm going to say menu flyout sub item. Okay. And what this does is it will come in and it will go ahead and say, here's a sub item. I'm going to give it text of sub item. And I'm going to go ahead and put in a bunch of menu items inside of it. So now we have sub item with file 1, right? So you can create this real rich, deep navigation inside of your application, which is pretty kind of awesome. So that is the very first thing I want to say. Now, this only shows up on desktops, Mac, and on Windows. Obviously, on mobile, this really wouldn't make any sense at all. Things like that. But of course, if you want some stuff like that, give feedback to the team. But this is, I don't know, it's just a great little API in here too. And I could imagine creating these all with the code behind as well. So I just love this thing. It's so nice. It looks really nice over here too. I just love the WinUI look here of what's going on in the file menu with sub items. And you can just go and go and go and go and go. And it's right there. All right. Now there is a lot more packed in to .NET MAUI Preview 14 beyond the menu bar, which I think is absolutely ridiculously awesome because there's been tons of enhancements to .NET MAUI Essentials. Now, .NET MAUI Essentials is the evolution of Xamarin Essentials, which is over 70 or 80 different native cross-platform APIs all bundled into the core platform. Now, Xamarin Essentials was a separate NuGet package that you'd have to install and make sure your apps were configured with, but .NET MAUI Essentials is literally in the box. So really, it's just sort of like .NET MAUI has these APIs. You can use it in non-.NET MAUI apps if you still have like an iOS or Android .NET 6 app and you're creating the UI with UIKit, for example. You can use that in there, which I've shown in previous videos. But if you're just using MAUI, it's all included, all configured, and there's new optimizations in this release. In fact, this release has re-architected with the product team and the community to have interfaces for every single API in the essential stuff. So things like connectivity, file picker, geolocation, opening the map, for example, it all has interfaces. And big shout outs to Ryan Davis, who originally did Xamarin Essentials interfaces, a third-party NuGet package, for lots of inspiration here. But this is great because it ties in beautifully to all of that dependency injection and inversion of control and constructor injection stuff that I've been talking about with Shell and a bunch of other stuff. And I've been working on a .NET MAUI workshop, which I'll talk about when it's all ready to go. It's almost ready. I'll show you the final product and walk you through some of the code that I actually use some of this stuff. So let's check it out. All right, so this is the Monkey Finder application. This is an application I have built many a times, but this is what's going to be in the workshop. So it lists all the different monkeys. You can search for them. You can click on one. You can actually launch to show on a map, for example. It has light theme and dark theme built in to it, which is really nice as well. You can find the closest one, which uses geolocation to find the closest monkey to you. And like I said over here, if I swap these around, I can obviously find the closest one. I need to get access, of course, in there. But I can also say show on map, which launches the map wherever it's at, which is really cool. And there we go, bingo bango, which is nice. So how do we get access to those new APIs? Well, check this out. If I come into my source code over here, I have my monkeys view model, which is using geolocation. And what I'm able to do is pass in iGeolocation, which is coming from the Microsoft MAUI's Essentials namespace. I can then use that locally here, and I get all of my different properties and methods like here, like get last known location, get location async. I have that all available right there for me. Same thing is true over here in my monkey details view model. I pass in an IMAP, which enables me to open the maps asynchronously and path in different information. Now, that being said, I can still come in and say maps dot if I want, which will give me, map dot. There we go, map dot, which will give me access to like open async, or if I did connectivity dot, for example, I have access to all those things still. But this is nice because it makes my view model very testable if you're worried about that. So that's where Ryan Davis's library came in really nifty for the Xamarin Essentials stuff. Now, I also say, if you haven't seen my video on all of the awesome .NET Community Toolkit stuff coming from the .NET Community Toolkit team, check that out because these are all source generators generating all my properties here, which is bananas. Okay, cool. Anyways, so we're injecting stuff. How do I set it up? Well, if I go over into my MAUI program over here, we can see a few things. The first thing is I add the iGeolocation and IMAP as a singleton, so I can reuse them across my application, and I get the specific implementation. And that is in the brand new Microsoft MAUI Essentials implementations namespace. So I just bring that in, I can add those in. If you look over here, I'm also, for example, adding my monkey service, my monkeys view model and main page as singletons, and then each of the monkey pages and the monkey view model stuff as transient, so a new one's created. Also, check out that I'm using the built-in HTTP client inside of dependency injection again, which is very cool. If you take a look at that stuff inside my services, I have my HTTP client automatically being injected in. If I go into my view models over here, like I showed earlier, I have my monkey service and my iGeolocation being put in. If I go into my pages over here on the code behind, we can also see that I'm injecting in the view model, which is very cool. And in this release, they did update it where you do need to inject your page if we're using Shell over here like I am. So I just have a single piece of shell content. So that way it knows how to register all of those things together. All right, there's a lot more in .NET MAUI Preview 14, and I could try to break down every single bug fix and optimization, but honestly, David over on the dev blog wrote an amazing dev blog highlighting all this stuff. So let's check it out. As always, David rocking it with all of the .NET MAUI announcement posts and great comments as well going on. He outlines all the new additions over here. So here is actually the menu stuff inside of his weather application, which is rad. He shows how to do all that right here. He also outlines some of the big things, such as the Essentials and device reconciliation, which is really, really cool, and all the interfaces. This is a neat one from Shane, which is the WinUI handler for Shell. This is really cool, actually, because it has tabs and drop downs, and all these things have been completely updated to be unique and different. So it actually is using proper flyout and things in there too. This is really, really, really neat. Some optimizations there. Some other things, such as some web view optimizations, or right to left support, and a bunch more. Also note that there's release notes. So if you really want to know every single little detail over and over and over again, look at all this. There's so many amazing contributions from the community and from the team. It's amazing to see it. In fact, look at this guy, James Montemagno. Look at that. I updated a license file and I updated some file picker and stuff on there too. So there we go. Some nice little things. But I'm excited because there's a whole lot more that he outlines, like all the essential APIs, some brand new file picker stuff. Look at this. Picking files, one line of code, amazing. Things like that, which are really, really cool. And also the product roadmap. If you take a look at that, I mean, it's coming up, people. It's happening. Wow, 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 wow. All right. So there's lots of stuff happening. I'm real excited about it because April release candidate is looking like it's on the board, which is great. And I also want to say one huge shout out to everyone that made contributions toward this feature, left comments, supported this. I made a pull request months ago to add Shell as the default template, the default way of learning .NET MAUI. And I got to say, Shane has pulled it in. The team has been optimizing, tweaking it, and making sure that it's super duper performant. So you can use all of that dependency and injection stuff across the board. It's all in here. If you want to read more about it, I'll put a link to this specific pull request that I did. But just know, next release, file new, boom, Shell, it's going to be in there. All right, that is going to do it for this quick overview of all the brand new .NET MAUI Preview 14 features as it heads up into release candidate. Now, as it proceeds forward, I'm going to make, of course, more videos. I'm going to do getting started, a whole bunch of other things, long form, short form, all the things. Let me know what you want to see when it comes to .NET MAUI. And of course, I'll put out a video when I release that workshop, which is going to be super awesome. I can't wait to put it out. It's a whole bunch of sections, full day workshop from start to finish. If you have any questions at all, leave them in the comments below. And of course, head over to the .NET YouTube, where I put out videos every single week over there with all my friends across all sorts of things in the world of .NET. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you haven't yet, jam that like button. That really helps other people find it. It goes into that YouTube algorithm of goodness. And heck, while you're down there, share it with someone. That also goes into the YouTube algorithm of goodness. And that subscribe and notification bell as well. Heck, do all the things that are down over there. I super appreciate it. That's going to do it for this one. So until next time,